Welcome, my dear students. Today, in this lecture, I am going to talk on concept of flowchart and algorithm. The second lecture of Unit 1. The Unit 1 name is Introduction to Programming, and the subject name is Computer Programming through C. The code of the subject is given here. So Unit 1 name is Introduction to Programming. Inside that, the second lecture name is Concept of Flowchart and Algorithm. So this is the second lecture of Unit 1. Lecture 1 already I posted. Kindly just have a look on it. So let's start. So in this lecture we are going to talk on this topic. So the content of our lecture is, we are going to see the concept of pseudocode, then we are going to explain about the algorithm, then we have to know how flowchart we are going to be used, then we have to also see the symbols of a flowchart, and finally we have to see the examples how the concept of flowchart and algorithm works together. So we will see one by one. So steps in problem solving. So steps in problem solving, we have some problem and then we try to solve it. Then how we are going to solve? We have a two phase. So in programming task, this problem will be divided into two phases. First one is called problem solving phase and then implementation phase. So problem solving phase talks about the algorithm. For example, the first point says that produce an ordered sequence of steps that describe solution of problems. So that is nothing but we are going to talk about the algorithm. So algorithm is a ordered sequence of a step. It's a well-defined steps, we can say, and that helps the programmer to do the programming. So implementation part, once we are able to write the algorithm of any problem, then by the programmer we are going to be implement in terms of programming language. Next we have algorithms and pseudocode. So here we are going to be compare the algorithms and pseudocode. So what do you mean by pseudocode and what do you mean by algorithm? So based on this point, I just try to explain you. So pseudocode is nothing but it's a artificial informal language that helps the programmer to develop the algorithm. So it says that it's an artificial informal language which helps the programmer to develop the algorithms. Second point says that pseudocode is used for creating outlines, or we can say that it is used for drafting the problems for programming. So pseudocode helps the programmer to develop the algorithms. Then what do you mean by algorithms? So algorithm says that it's very close to the computer language. It's very close to the computer language. In other words, we can say that it's a well-defined steps. It's a well-defined steps. Second point says that about algorithm, it's a set of instructions designed to perform a specific task. So algorithm is a set of instructions used to design to perform a specific task. A specific task means we have a problem like addition of any two numbers. This is our task. Then we are going to find out the solution for this. Then by using the concept of the pseudocode and algorithm, we try to draft it out. We try to get it the solution. So pseudocode helps to draft the outline of the program, and algorithm helps to put that draft into a computer language. It is called a well-defined steps. Now, pseudocode and algorithm, with the help of some example, I try to explain you how the pseudocode works. For example, input a set of 4 marks. So we are going to be input a set of 4 marks. That means we are going to give an instruction to our computer to set a 4 marks. Then calculate the average by summing and dividing by 4. Normally we are doing, so we are going to be calculate the average. Then how we are going to calculate the average? We are going to get all the 4 inputs and divided by 4. If the average is below 50, then print fail, else print pass. So this is the informal, or we can say that artificial language it's written. So any normal person can understand this pseudocode. But in case of an algorithm, you see here. So in algorithm, I told you it's a well-defined steps. So step 1 says that input M1, M2, M3, M4. This is nothing but it's a instruction given by the user. So M1 carry one data value, M2 carry another data value, M3 carry another data value, and likewise M4 also carry another data value. So altogether 4 values we have given through input instruction. Now step 2 say that grade. That means what we are going to do? We are going to sum out all the 4 values, and finally we have to divide by 4 to get the average. Now the grade store the average value of this 4 input. Now the third step says that now condition given here. If grade is less than 50, then result will be fail, print will be fail, else print will be pass. So this is the way to write the algorithm. So I think it's clear for you how we are going to write the pseudocode and how we are going to write the algorithm. Pseudocode means it's a normal language or informal language. What we are talking, the same way we are going to be write it and draft it of our problem. But algorithm means it's a well defined. It's very close to the computer language. See here, all things I have written here, it's a just like we are going to do a programming. So everything M1, M2, M3, M4, 4 values are there. We have given the here some of this addition symbol. Then we are going to divide it by 4. Then we are going to be compare it with the 50. If the value, all the value is less than 50, then the result will be fail, or it will be, if more than, then it will be pass. Here if you have given the if statement, if statement I used, so it's a conditional statement again. Here given condition is given, if grade is less than 50, then fail, else print pass. So there is a condition and end of if. So this is the syntax also of the if statement. Next we will see more about the flowchart. So the definition of flowchart says that it's a graphical representation of a sequence of operation in an information system or program. In another word, we can say that flowchart is a graphical or pictorial representation of a operations. Second point is the first point, second point and third point. We have 3 points here about the flowchart. We will see one by one. Program flowchart shows the sequence of instruction in a single program or subroutine. It means that the flowchart shows the sequence of instruction in a single program. That means in one program all the flowcharts will be come in sequence way. And second point says that different symbols are used to draw for each type of a flowchart. That means each symbol having their own meaning, own value, and this each symbol carry their own identification in terms of flowchart. Third point says that so logic of an algorithm emphasize individual step and their interconnections. That means flowchart shows logic of an algorithm. That means flowchart what shows? It's a logic of algorithm. That means what we have written in algorithm that can be pictorial represent with some logic and emphasize individual steps and their interconnection. That means we have a symbols and each symbols having a own value, own identity, but each all are interconnected with one another. Then flowchart symbols we have. In this symbols we have a name here, their symbols are there, and here uses of flowchart here given. So oval symbol is like this. It denotes the beginning or end of the program. That means if we use this symbol, it's start or end. That means it shows that we are going to be start the program or we are going to be end the program. Parallelogram. This symbol is called a parallelogram. This symbol is used to denote an input operation. Suppose if you want to be get the input from the user, then we are going to be use this symbol. In the last slide already we have taken 4 inputs from the user, M1, M2, M3, M4. So while taking the input from the user, we are going to be use this symbol. A rectangle, third symbol is a rectangle symbol. This denotes a process to be carried out. That means this symbol is used to define the process. That means our process is carried out by using this symbol. For example, M1, M2, M3, M4. This all 4 values is going to be add. Show addition, subtraction and division. This all operations can be performed by using these symbols. Then diamond symbol is there. So diamond symbol is used for the condition. For example, I have given if grade is less than 50, then print fail. So that is the condition. For getting this, showing this condition, we have to use this symbol. So diamond symbol is used for condition purpose. For example, here it's written denotes a decision to be made. The program should be continue along one of the 2 routes. If here 2 routes are there, na? This and this one is there. This one is connected to the above symbol and this is connected to the down symbol. So diamond is used for taking the decision. So that's why sometimes it is also called a decision symbol. Now next we have a hybrid. This denote the output operation. So once we have calculated the average of 4 number and that average of 4 number can be displayed by using this symbols. Now flow line. So this symbol is used to direct or is used for the direction of a logical flow in the program. So I hope it's clear for you. All the symbols are very important and all symbols having their own identities and own purpose we are using in our programming language. So flowchart is nothing but it's a pictorial representation of an algorithm. What we have written in the algorithm, the same thing we are going to be represent by using the concept of the flowchart. Flowchart using the pictures like symbols and each symbols having their meaning. So these are the meanings already I have given, explained you, and this is the name of each symbol and this is the symbol's name. Next we have example. So by using this example, as I try to explain you how this will work. So step 1. Now algorithm, this is the algorithm part and this is the flowchart part. So both I am comparing here in one slide. I try to give you a more exposure about flowchart and symbol. So step 1, input 1, M1, M2, M3, M4. So step 1 is the algorithm says that we are going to get the input from the user M1, M2, M3, M4. So same thing, we input here. So this is the input box. As I told you, it's a parallelogram is used to get the input from the user. So start symbol is like this, the next input symbol. So we are taking from the user. Now step 2, once we have taken the input, now what we are going to do, we are going to add and then we are going to divide by total inputs. So we have a 4 inputs we have taken from the user, M1, M2, M3, M4, and this input is divided by 4, and that value is going to be stored where? It will be going to be stored in the grade. So this value is operation is performing here. So operation symbol is like a rectangle, as I previous slide already I have explained you rectangle symbol is used for the operation. So here the operation is performing here. Now the grade value is calculated in the operation. Now we have to check the condition. Step 3 is then if condition I am using grade is less than 50. Now here we are going to be check the condition is grade is less than 50. Then if yes means print fail, if no means print pass. So this is the output screen. As I told you, this symbol is used for the output operation. This symbol name is called hybrid. So these two symbols are used for the output. So here the condition is given is grade less than 50. Third step in our algorithm is mentioned if grade is less than 50, print fail, else print pass. So here now by the help of the flowchart, same thing I try to present in a picture way, and it shows that is grade is less than 50. Now the two conditions I am giving here, no and yes. Y stand for yes, N stand for no. If yes means print fail, if no means print pass, and finally it will be stop. So by this slide I try to explain you how algorithm is related with the flowchart. Dear students, already I told you flowchart is nothing but it's a pictorial representation of an algorithm. What is written in the algorithm? The same thing we are going to be represent by using the symbols, and each symbol having their own meaning as I explain you. Next we have a example 2. In this example we are going to be write an algorithm and we are going to also draw the flowchart to convert the length into feet to centimeter. We are going to convert the length in feet to centimeter. That means we have a we are going to be convert the feet into centimeter. So pseudocode how we are going to write, input the length in feet. So we are getting the input of length of anything. We are going to get the length of this monitor in a feet, then calculate the length in centimeter. Then once we are going to get once we got the length of this monitor in a feet, now we are going to be convert this length into centimeter. Then how we are going to convert this length into centimeter? We must know this formula, to multiply it with 30. Once multiply with 30 with feet value, then we will get the length in centimeter. Now print the length in centimeter. So this is the way to write the pseudocode. Now the same thing we have to write in a algorithm. This are the algorithm and this are the flowchart. So step 1, input L feet. That means we are going to get some input in terms of length and the unit is feet. Now we are going to convert this feet into centimeter. So step 2, what is that? So the same length we got in the feet, we are going to be convert into centimeter by multiply with 30. So we multiplied with 30, then it's coming to centimeter. Now the third step says that print length in centimeter. So same thing, this algorithm I tried to represent with the help of a flowchart. We started the program, we got the input from the user, and then finally input we got in feet, so this input multiplied with 30, then this whole value will be come into centimeter. So L is going to be a store the value in centimeter. Now print the value L in centimeter. Then finally the program will be stopped. So this way this algorithm and flowchart will work out. I hope my dear students is very clear for you. Flowchart we know to write the flowchart algorithm, and then the same algorithm we try to represent on the flowchart. Next we have a third example. So why I am giving this example to you, because it's make you more clear and better understanding what is the difference between pseudocode, algorithm and flowchart. Again, third example says that write an algorithm and draw a flowchart that will read two sides of a rectangle and calculate its area. So here what we are going to do, to calculate the areas of a rectangle by reading the sides of a rectangle. As we know that rectangle having two sides, length and width. So these are the two input we are going to be read, and then finally by using the formula we are going to be calculate the area of a rectangle. So you must know how to calculate the area of a rectangle. So pseudocode, how we are going to write? As I told you, pseudocode nothing but it's a informal language, artificial language, or we can say that it's a way to draft our program. So the first step, input the width and the length of a rectangle. That means we are going to get the width and length of a rectangle from the user. So now once we can get the width and length of a rectangle, we are going to be calculate the area. How we are going to calculate the area? By multiplying length and width, which we got from the user. Now finally we can print A. What is A? A is the area of a rectangle. That means the value of L into W is stored in A. Then finally we are going to print A. So that will be the area of the rectangle. So this will explain by algorithm and flowchart. So algorithm step 1 says that we are going to get the input from the user. Once we can got the input from the user, we are going to be multiplied L and W, and this value is going to be stored in A. A is the area, and finally we can print A. So this is the algorithm. This is the way to write the algorithm to find the area of a rectangle. Now same thing we are going to be represent in a flowchart. So start the program. We got the input W or L. Now we are going to do the processing on it. So what we are going to do, multiplied L and W, and that value is going to be stored in A. This symbol is used to say that this value is going to be stored here. Now finally we can print it, and at last stop symbol is coming. As I told you, start and stop both having the same symbol and we are using. So this input is a parallelogram symbol that allows us to take the input from the user. This rectangle symbol is used to do the processing what we got as an input, and this hybrid symbol is used to display the output of our input. What we have given as an input, then the hybrid will be print out. Next we have example 4. I think this is the last example and we have to see here. So write an algorithm and draw a flowchart that will calculate the root of a quadratic equation. So we are going to write algorithm, and based on the algorithm we are going to draw the flowchart, and we are going to be calculate the root of a quadratic equation. So this is the quadratic equation, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. This is the quadratic equation. So we are going to be calculate the root of a quadratic equation. Hint: d equal to a square root of b square minus 4ac. Dear students, here d is what is called d? Discriminant. This is called discriminant, This is the square root of b square minus 4ac. So this is the way to calculate the root of our quadratic equation, and the root are x1 is equal to minus b plus d divided by 2a. This is the formula. You must know this formula, then you are able to be calculate the root of a quadratic equation. I hope you know this formula. Now see, pseudocode how we are going to write. Input the coefficients of a, b and c of the quadratic equation. So ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 is our quadratic equation. So we are going to get the what? Coefficient of a, b and the coefficient हमारा क्या है? यहाँ पर a, b और c हमारा क्या coefficient है? किसका? Quadratic equation का. ठीक है? Now we are going to be calculate discriminant. So D stands for discriminant. We are going to be calculate. Then we are going to calculate x1, calculate x2, and then finally we are going to be print x1 and x2. So this is the way to be write the pseudocode. Now see how we are going to be write our algorithm and flowchart. So this is the algorithm part. Step 1, input a, b, c. Step 2, discriminant square root of b square minus 4ac. And then step 3, we are going to get the value of x1, and step 2, x2 value, and then finally print x1 and x2. Now the same thing we are going to be represent in a flowchart manner. So start input a, b, c. We got it. Now we have a 4 operation here. First we are going to find out the discriminant value. Discriminant value will be calculated by the square root of b square minus 4ac. Now x1 we are going to be calculate. How we are going to calculate the x1? We have a formula. Based on the formula we are placing here, and this value is stored in the x1. Likewise this value is stored in x2. Then finally we are going to be print the value of x1 and x2, and our flowchart will be stop symbol here. So these are the way we represent our algorithm in terms of flowchart. I hope my dear students it's clear for you. So this is the reference page. I have given a link for YouTube. If you want to be have a better understanding, more clarification, more example, if you want to see, kindly go through this video link, YouTube link, and just watch it out. We have a reference book here. You just go through this book. These are the very important book that help you to acquire more knowledge. And this is the last slide. Thank you. I hope my dear students it's clear for you. Thank you.